What if I told you that some of the most terrifying moments in human history didn't happen during wars, but inside laboratories, places where curiosity turned into obsession, where scientists crossed ethical lines in the name of progress, and where experiments designed to help humanity ended up destroying lives? Welcome to Crazy World Facts. Here, reality is stranger than fiction. And today, you're about to discover scientific experiments that went too far. Stay until the end, because the final case in this video is so disturbing that it forced governments around the world to rewrite the rules of science forever. Science has always pushed boundaries, but there's a difference between pushing limits and ignoring humanity. Throughout history, scientists have asked dangerous questions. How far can the human mind be pushed? Can pain improve intelligence? Can behavior be controlled? Can fear be engineered? And instead of stopping to ask, should we? They asked only what happens if we do? One of the most infamous experiments ever conducted involved psychological manipulation. Volunteers were placed into artificial environments where authority was simulated, morality was removed, responsibility was erased. People were encouraged to harm others, not physically at first, but mentally. What shocked researchers wasn't the pain inflicted, but how quickly ordinary people obeyed. Some participants suffered long-term anxiety, severe guilt, emotional trauma that lasted decades, and the experiment had to be stopped early, because it was spiraling out of control. Other experiments went even further, targeting the human body itself. In the early and mid-20th century, certain governments secretly authorized tests involving extreme temperatures, radiation exposure, chemical substances, sensory deprivation. Many subjects didn't even know they were part of an experiment. Some were told it was medical treatment. Others were promised help, jobs, or freedom. Instead, they became data points. The consequences? Permanent physical damage, genetic mutations, unexplained illnesses, deaths quietly erased from records. Some of the darkest experiments were driven not by curiosity, but by power. During periods of war and political tension, science became a weapon. Researchers were ordered to find answers to questions like, how much radiation can a human survive? How long before isolation breaks the mind? Can loyalty be chemically induced? Can memory be erased? The results were classified, the victims forgotten. And for decades, the truth stayed buried. Eventually, whistleblowers spoke out. Documents were leaked. Survivors told their stories. The world was forced to confront an uncomfortable truth: progress without ethics is not progress. It's abuse. These revelations led to international ethical standards, informed consent laws, human research protections, oversight committees, but all of this came after irreversible damage. The final experiment we'll mention today was so extreme, so morally disturbing, that once exposed, it shocked the entire scientific community. Participants were pushed beyond psychological limits. They were manipulated, deceived, and emotionally broken. Several never fully recovered. And when the truth came out, the experiment became a symbol of everything science should never become. It wasn't just an experiment. It was a warning. Science has given us medicine, technology, and understanding. But history proves one thing very clearly: without ethics, intelligence becomes dangerous. Without limits, curiosity becomes cruelty. The question is no longer what science can do, but what science should never do again. If this video made you think, or unsettled you, you're not alone. This is Crazy World Facts, where reality is darker, deeper, and more unbelievable than fiction. And remember, the world is full of mysteries. And some truths are more terrifying than lies.